Hey there, it's JVL with my friend AB Stoddard from the Bulwark, the Mistress of Darkness. AB, yesterday Sarah Huckabee Sanders had some thoughts about Kamala Harris, whose name she still can't pronounce. Somehow it comes out Kamala. Who could say why? Who could say why? It's probably just a random slip of the tongue. We'll get back to that. That's a thing that Sarah Huckabee Sanders has problems with. But first, let's hear from her.
So my kids keep me humble. Unfortunately, Kamala Harris doesn't have anything keeping her humble.
Yeah. So, she doesn't want to say out loud that she's not a real woman because she doesn't have children. She frames it as it's really a logistical thing. You need someone to keep you humble. And God knows, everybody has always said that one of the hallmarks of Sarah Huckabee Sanders is her humility. This prompted a little pushback even from a regular Trump defender, Bryan Lanza.
But I do want to get back to Sarah Huckabee Sanders' comment. I, too, was blessed to have a stepmother. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to have normal conversations without a stepmother. So I found that comment to be actually offensive. I don't know what more to say about that. I'm disappointed in Sarah was saying that. I'm sure I'm probably going to get criticism from the campaign. But I have to sort of defend somebody who's a stepmom. It's a tough job. People step into that role. It's usually a difficult dynamic. My mom excelled at it. I'm sure your mom excelled at it. I'm sure you excelled at it. And we should reward that and sort of speak of that in a very high tone.
AB, what are we supposed to say about this?
I know. I feel my head is exploding, and there's so many things that I have to say about this. First of all, it is really hard being a stepmom, and it is really hard to be a public figure whose stepchildren openly adore you and whose former wife of your husband, who is the mother of your stepchildren, openly adores you and affirms like what a fabulous job you've done as a stepmother. That is a real thing that says a lot about Harris's character and her relationships and how much time she puts into them and what she prioritizes in a family. That aside, we can start with that. Even if she wasn't a stepmother, I have been worried that we would hear from some jerk on the right, as you said, how could we have this first woman president who's not a real woman because she hasn't raised children? I was expecting that it would be in the context of someone who has not had to deal with the education system in this country or balanced a family household budget, something like that. I was expecting it from a man. And so I was so floored to see this coming from Sarah Huckabee Sanders next to Donald Trump. Step parenting is saved for messy people who get divorced like Donald Trump, but his family is a disaster. He has children that he doesn't want to be seen with in public, and he is not a humble man, even though she believes that children humble you. I looked on her ex bio.
That's a good point.
And she counts herself as Christian, period, wife, period, mother, period, former White House press secretary, period, governor of Arkansas, period. She puts herself out as a Christian first. All of us, whether we are Christian or not, just being human makes us aware of the power of humility, the gift of humility, the importance of humility, how humbling life is. But as a Christian, that she does not appreciate that some people cannot have children and have tried. Some people marry late and then cannot have children but desperately want to. Some people want to get married and never get married. She understands all of this. And she understands that no one is a better person because they have children than someone who doesn't. And even Donald Trump, the disaster that he is in all these departments, knew how dangerous Vance's comments were about childless cat ladies, that, a month ago, he was trying to sort of back away and get some distance. So she speaks for God. She said that God is not done with Trump. But she, as a Christian, feels that she can share Vance's contempt for women and speak about people this way. And I am in a rage about it, as you can see.
Yeah, it's really something. And there is a way in which actually I could kind of understand the experience of family life is so gobsmacking that nobody is ever ready for it. Right. No, it doesn't matter how you prepare for it. Like and nobody can really understand it until they've done it. Right. I mean, until you've been around kids and raised kids, until you've lived in a marriage and like lived with another person, like it's you can't understand the insanity of it. And so I could like, I would say an unmarried person running for president, I would think, yeah, I mean, maybe they'd be a great president, but I would worry that like, do they really understand like what life is like? If somebody didn't have any kids, like at all, they were just, a couple of dinks, a couple of dual income, no kids. I might think to myself, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard to understand what it's like from the outside. You can't, but to say that somebody's, their parenthood isn't real parenthood because they were a step parent. I just,
and
wow.
I feel that once you've been humbled both by the work of parenthood, the bewilderment of parenthood, and then the blessing, that you would not speak about other people
that's
way.
the biggest part, right? She's like, parenthood has really humbled me. And I'm so humbled that I'm going to tell you that I'm a better person than this other woman over here who's only a step parent.
She's worried, JVL, that Kamala Harris has nothing to keep her humble. Nothing
to keep her humble. So here is where I want to defend Sarah Huckabee Sanders a little bit. You ready?
I'm always ready for JVL's other side.
Did I swerve on you?
No, it's good. You make us think. You're very good at this.
If she meant what she was saying, then it would make her a very bad person. But I think we have evidence that she is just a liar.
Yeah.
And when I say evidence, what I mean is that this is one of the rare moments where we have her talking about the exact same subject once in public and on the record with the White House press corps, and then under oath during a criminal deposition. I am talking about her comments that Jim Comey had lost the confidence of the FBI and that countless members of the FBI had told her this fact.
What led you in the White House to believe that he had lost the confidence of the rank and file of the FBI when the acting director says it's exactly the opposite?
Well, I can speak to my own personal experience. I've heard from countless members of the FBI that are grateful and thankful for the president's decision. And I think that, we may have to agree to disagree. I'm sure that there are some people that are disappointed, but I've certainly heard from a large number of individuals, and that's just myself. And I don't even know that many people in the FBI.
Just to follow up on the FBI thing, and I'm not trying to be overly combative here, but you said now today, and I think you said again yesterday, that you personally have talked to countless FBI officials, employees, since this happened.
Correct.
I mean, really? Like,
really?
So are we talking
between like email, text messages? Absolutely,
50,
yes.
60, 70?
Look, we're not going to get into a numbers game. I have heard from a large number of individuals that work at the FBI that said that they're very happy with the president's decision.
She did this twice in two separate press briefings. And this is around the time of Jim Comey's firing. And then during the Mueller investigation, when she was deposed, she was asked about these statements. What she then says when she is under oath, because when you're under oath, if you tell the lie, there are criminal consequences to it. When you're talking to the press and you lie, people just let you do it. She says that was just a slip of the tongue. Mm-hmm. Then that it was a comment she made in the heat of the moment that was not founded on anything. Not founded on anything! Not founded on anything. Now, as I just read you the transcript, it isn't like she said in passing, look, everybody at the FBI is glad to be gone with that guy. Right? That's not what it was. She got into a prolonged exchange in which people said to her, are you fucking kidding me? And she just kept going. She was like George Costanza showing Susan's parents the house in the Hamptons. You know, oh, yeah, we just got to keep going. The two horses, Prickly Pete, right? You remember that?
There's no house! It's a lie! There's no solarium, there's no Prickly Pete, there's no other solarium. We know.
She is a liar.
Yeah.
We know that she is a liar because she is a proven liar. And in fact, one of the things she told the New York Times when they did their big glow up interview of her before she ran for governor was she really just doesn't like being called a liar. Here's the thing, Sarah. If you don't like being called a liar, then don't fucking lie to the American people over and over and over again. And I hope, honestly, in this case, it's just that she's lying about her feelings about Kamala Harris and that she doesn't really mean it. Because if she's just lying, then she's a bad politician doing bad politician things. If she means it, then she's a bad person.
Yes, I appreciate that she's a documented liar. And what she did from the podium in the White House briefing room is dangerous and just completely out of bounds. And it's funny how these people, once they are faced with the threat of criminal liability, they actually understand the rules. But the idea that she would get up to butter up Trump and his crowd and say something that vicious, that as a woman, I'm so offended that she is not offended by Vance's contempt for women. As she's a mother, she's a cancer survivor. I remember falling for Mike Huckabee back in the day, thinking he was just deep down in there, a good guy. You know, you want to like people like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but she is a documented liar who got up there and basically said, I am going to rip this woman in the most unfair and vicious fashion because I am now in a seat of power. I stand to gain more of it. And I'm going to keep climbing this ladder. And it feels so good. I'm willing to be corrupted as a Christian into saying stuff like this to please the crowd. So I don't care if it's performative. It's so cruel. It's so cruel. And I want, as a woman, to believe, like I said, I so thought that this would be a man that did this. And it would be like a podcaster. And I don't want to believe that one of our few women governors, particularly on the Republican side, at age like 42 or whatever she is, you know, daughter of a pastor and all this, would want to do that. But she did with a big old smile. And the crowd loved it.
Get ready, AB, because whenever we arrive at the post-Trump future that people keep promising us is right around the corner, whenever that day may be, in 2025, 2028, 2032, 2050. I don't know. I mean, it could happen anytime. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is going to be making a strong move to the hoop because she thinks that she has a national future in American politics.
Yes.
You know how we used to sign off these shows, AB? Good luck, America.